Carter was a scavenger, traveled to distant planets to find old ships and parts that others did not want. Many people called these junkyard worlds because they were full of broken machines, ships, and forgotten technology. For most, these places were useless. But for Carter, they were treasure troves waiting to be found. This time, Carter landed on a remote planet called Raxus. It was a cold, gray place with wide deserts of rusted metal and broken starships. The sky was always cloudy, and dust storms sometimes covered the sun. The planet was owned by a big company, but they left it alone because they found nothing valuable for years. Many scavengers came before, but none found anything good. Carter stepped out of his small shuttle with his toolkit. He looked around carefully. The place was quiet except for the wind blowing through twisted metal. He began walking toward a huge pile of scrap ships. His eyes scanned the wrecks, searching for anything useful. Hours passed, and Carter found some small parts to sell, but nothing exciting. Then, near the edge of the junkyard, something caught his eye. A ship lay buried under broken pieces of metal and dust. It was large, unlike the smaller ships around it. Its shape was strong but worn out. The paint was scratched, and many parts looked damaged. It looked like no one cared about it for a long time. Curious, Carter moved closer. He wiped dust off the ship's side and read faded letters. USS Valiant. The name made his heart beat faster. He'd heard stories about the Valiant, a legendary human warship lost in old wars. But many believed it was destroyed long ago. How could it be here, in this forgotten junkyard? Carter checked the ship's hull carefully. It was cracked in places, but the metal was thick and solid. He pressed a few buttons on the ship's surface, hoping to find some power. Nothing happened. It seemed dead, just another old machine waiting. For scrap, he knew others would say the ship was worthless. But something told him this was different. He took out a small drone from his kit and sent it inside the ship through a broken door. The drone's camera showed dark halls covered in dust and broken wires. No life signs, but the ship's structure was mostly intact. Carter decided to try something bold. He climbed inside the ship carefully. Inside was cold and dark, with only his flashlight to guide him. The control room was big, but empty. Screens were shattered, and panels hung loose, yet the ship still felt powerful, as if it had a story too. Till he found a console and wiped it clean. After many tries, a small light blinked on. The ship was not completely dead. He found a hidden power cell that still held energy. This meant the ship might wake up if he repaired it. Carter spent days working on the Valiant. He fixed broken circuits, cleaned the engine room, and replaced damaged parts with some he found nearby. It was hard work. Many times he thought about giving up, but the ship gave him hope. One night, as he connected the last cable, the ship suddenly hummed to life. Lights flickered on in the control room, and a soft voice spoke through the speakers. Systems initializing. AI awakening. "Hello, Carter." Carter jumped in surprise. The ship knew his name. The voice was calm but strong, like a guardian waking after a long sleep. "Who are you?" Carter asked. "I am Sentinel, the ship's artificial intelligence. I have waited for a pilot like you." Carter could not believe it. The Valiant had an AI that was still alive after all these years. Sentinel explained that the ship was made to protect humanity long ago, but was lost during a great war. Sentinel had been waiting for someone worthy to command the ship and bring it back to life. Carter felt proud and scared. He knew taking care of such a ship was a huge responsibility. But he also felt lucky. The Valiant was no ordinary ship. It had weapons, shields, and technology far beyond what Carter had seen. The next day, Carter sent a message to his friends. He told them about the Valiant, but many did not believe him. They thought he had found a useless old ship. Some warned him to leave it alone, but Carter was determined. He worked day and night with Sentinel, learning how the ship worked. Sentinel showed him secret compartments, advanced engines, and a special weapon system that could change battles. Carter also found old records inside the ship. They told stories of human bravery and battles against alien invaders. Humanity once had a powerful fleet, but it was forgotten over time. The Valiant was the last of its kind, waiting to rise again. As days passed, strange signals appeared on the ship's radar. Sentinel warned Carter that an unknown fleet was moving toward human space. Many feared this fleet was dangerous, ready to attack weak colonies. Carter realized his discovery was not just luck. Valiant had been waiting for this moment. It was meant to help humanity face the coming danger. He decided to prepare the ship for a journey back to human space. Carter knew it would be dangerous, but he could not let the ship stay hidden any longer. As Carter looked at the ship under the dusty sky of Raxus, he felt a new purpose. The Valiant was more than metal and wires. It was hope, waiting to be awakened by someone who believed in it. And now that someone was him. Carter felt a mix of excitement and fear as he prepared the Valiant for its journey. The ship was old but strong. Sentinel, the AI, guided him through every system. Together they checked the engines, weapons, and shields. The ship's power core was ancient, but still held great energy. Carter knew he had to be careful to not damage it. As days passed, Carter learned more about Sentinel. The AI was not just a machine. He remembered the Valiant's past and the wars it fought. Sentinel spoke softly about human courage and sacrifice. Carter listened closely, felt proud to be connected to such a history. One afternoon, Sentinel said, "Carter, I found something important. This ship was designed for a special mission. It can change the course of wars." "How?" Carter asked, curious. "The Valiant has technology lost to time. Weapons and defenses that other ships do not have. It can protect human space from any threat." Carter smiled. This was why he had chosen to save the Valiant. He felt a strong bond with the ship and its AI. But the news from Sentinel was also serious. The alien fleet was getting closer. Their ships were huge and armed with powerful weapons. Many human colonies were unprepared for such an attack. Carter decided to send a message to the Human Defense Council. He used the Valiant's advanced communication systems to send a warning. He hoped they would listen. Hours later, Carter received a reply. The council was skeptical. They thought Carter had found just an old ship with no real power. Many believed the Valiant was a legend, not a weapon that could still fight. Sentinel advised patience. "We must show them the Valiant's true strength," Carter agreed. He started training with the ship every day. Sentinel taught him how to use the weapons and shields. Carter became a skilled pilot quickly. One day, a scout ship from the alien fleet appeared near the junkyard planet. Sentinel detected it immediately. "Carter, we have a visitor," the AI said calmly. Carter felt his heart race. This was his. A chance to prove the Valiant's power. He took control and prepared the ship for battle. The Valiant's weapons hummed to life. The shields glowed faintly, ready to protect. The alien scout ship fired first, testing the Valiant's defenses. Carter dodged the shots, using the ship's advanced thrusters. He fired back with precision lasers that surprised the alien ship. The battle was fast but fierce. Carter used every trick Sentinel taught him. The Valiant's weapons were stronger than the scout expected. After several minutes, the alien ship retreated. Carter sent a message to the Human Council with proof of the battle. Images and data showed the Valiant's power and the alien threat. This time, the Council could not ignore him. They sent a team to Raxus to meet Carter and see the Valiant for themselves. When the team arrived, they were amazed. The Valiant was huge and well-armed. Council officers asked many questions, but Carter answered with confidence. Sentinel joined the talks through the ship's AI system, explaining the Valiant's history and technology. After long discussions, the Council agreed to send more ships to defend human space. They also asked Carter to join the fleet as a captain. Carter felt proud, but nervous. Leading a fleet was a big responsibility, but he was ready. As the new fleet gathered, Carter and Sentinel prepared the Valiant for the battles ahead. They upgraded weapons, fixed engines, and trained new pilots. Carter thought about the long journey. The Valiant was no longer just a forgotten ship. It was humanity's hope against a dark future. One night, Carter looked out from the ships. Bridge stars shone bright, and the silence was deep. He whispered, "We will protect our home, no matter what comes." Sentinel replied. Together, we are stronger than any enemy. The next day, the alien armada entered human space. The battle for survival had begun. The warning lights on the Valiant's bridge flashed red. Carter stood firm, eyes fixed on the large screen ahead. The alien armada had arrived at the edge of human space. Hundreds of ships, larger and faster than anything the humans had ever seen, moved with precision and power. "They're here," Carter said quietly. Sentinel's voice was calm, but urgent. "Our sensors detect multiple warships armed with energy weapons and missiles. Their fleet is designed for quick strikes and heavy damage." Carter took a deep breath. The Valiant's engines hummed softly beneath his feet. This ship, once forgotten, was now humanity's first line of defense. He turned to the young crew assembled on the bridge. Many were new recruits, trained quickly but eager to fight. Their faces showed fear but also determination. "Remember," Carter said, "we fight. Not just for ourselves, but for every human out there. The Valiant is strong, but it is our courage that will make the difference." Outside the ship, stars became streaks of light as the battle began. The alien fleet advanced in tight formation. Carter activated the Valiant's shield, a glowing barrier that flickered under enemy fire. The first wave of alien ships launched their attack. Energy beams cut through space, aiming for the Valiant and nearby human ships. Carter moved the ship with skill, dodging blasts while returning fire. Sentinel directed Carter to weak points in the enemy's formation. The Valiant's weapons struck with deadly accuracy, destroying several alien ships, but the enemy was relentless. More ships joined the fight, surrounding the human fleet. Carter's ship shook as it absorbed powerful hits. Alarms blared, but he stayed focused. "Damage report," Carter asked. "Shields at 70%, Sentinel answered. "Engine performance stable, but hull integrity dropping." Carter knew they could not hold forever, as he ordered the crew to prepare the Valiant's special weapon, an ancient energy cannon hidden deep inside the ship. It had never been used in battle, but could change everything. The crew worked quickly, loading power into the cannon. The ship's lights dimmed as energy flowed into the weapon. Carter felt the ship tremble beneath him. "Ready, Sentinel," said Carter. Targeted the largest alien warship, he fired the cannon. A beam of pure energy exploded from the Valiant, striking the enemy ship with force. The alien ship shattered into pieces, its crew forced to retreat. The battle turned. Seeing the Valiant's power, some alien ships broke formation. Human ships pushed forward, inspired by Carter's bravery in the chaos. Carter noticed a small squadron of enemy fighters trying to flank the fleet. He ordered the Valiant to intercept. With Sentinel's help, Carter led a swift attack, destroying the flanking fighters before they could reach the human ships. The Valiant's speed and weapons made the difference, but victory came at a cost. The Valiant's hull was badly damaged, and many crew members were injured. Carter moved through the ship, checking on his team and giving orders to repair critical systems. As the battle slowed, Carter sent a message to the Human Defense Council. He warned that the alien fleet would return stronger. Humanity needed to prepare for a longer war. The Council agreed. They called for all available ships to join forces and defend human space. Carter was named commander of the new fleet, a sign of trust in his leadership. Days passed as the fleet repaired and trained. Carter worked with Sentinel to upgrade the Valiant. They improved weapons, shields, and engines, using both ancient technology and modern science. Carter also studied the enemy's tactics. Sentinel collected data from the battle, revealing weaknesses and patterns. Together they planned new strategies to protect human worlds. One evening, Carter stood on the Valiant's observation deck, watching stars twinkle in the vast darkness. "Sentinel," he said, "we can't let fear control us. We must be brave and smart." "Agreed," Sentinel replied. "Humanity has survived because of hope and strength. We will face whatever comes together." Carter smiled. He knew the road ahead was hard, but he believed in his crew, the Valiant, and the human spirit. The alien armada would return. When they did, Carter and the Valiant would be ready. The Valiant floated quietly in the deep black space near the human colonies. Carter stood on the bridge, eyes scanning the stars for any sign of the alien armada. The weeks after the first battle had been tense. The human fleet was small, but growing. More ships arrived every day, all ready to defend their homes. Carter knew they needed more than just ships. They needed allies, and they needed a plan. He called a meeting with the fleet commanders in the Valiant's main hall. Officers from different human colonies gathered, some nervous, some confident. Carter stood before them, feeling the weight of his new responsibility. "Friends," he began, "we face a threat unlike any before. The alien armada is strong and smart. They attack quickly and without mercy. But we have something they do not: our courage, our unity, and the Valiant." The room was silent, waiting for his plan. "We will build a defense line at the edge of human space," Carter continued. "We cannot let the enemy reach our colonies. Sentinel and I have studied their tactics. We'll use traps and quick strikes. To slow them down?" One officer raised a question. "Captain, what about our technology? Can we upgrade our ships to fight better?" Carter smiled. "Yes, Sentinel has shared the Valiant's technology with our engineers. We are working on better weapons, stronger shields, and faster engines. Soon, our fleet will be more powerful than ever." The commanders nodded, some smiling with hope. Outside the meeting, Sentinel spoke quietly to Carter. "We must also consider diplomacy. Not all alien races want war. Some may help us." Carter thought about this. He had always believed humans could find peace. But first, they had to survive. Days passed and the fleet trained harder. Carter worked with pilots, engineers, and soldiers. "I taught them how to use the Valiant's advanced systems and how to trust each other in battle." Meanwhile, Sentinels searched for alien signals beyond the warships. One day, it found a message from a nearby alien race. It's different from the attackers. Carter's Sentinel said this race may be open to talks. They fear the alien armada as much as we do. Carter agreed to send a diplomatic team. He chose a young officer named Lyra to lead the mission. Lyra was brave and smart, with experience in alien languages and cultures. The diplomatic ship traveled to the alien world, a planet covered in forests and oceans. Lyra met with the alien leaders and explained humanity's situation. The aliens listened carefully and agreed to help. They offered weapons, ships, and knowledge about the enemy. With their support, the human fleet grew stronger and better prepared. Carter felt proud of this new alliance. He knew that unity between species was humanity's true strength. But the alien armada did not wait. Scouts detected their return, larger and more organized. Carter gathered the fleet for the next battle. He looked at his crew, new allies, and the Valiant, all ready to fight. "Remember," he said, "we fight for our homes, our families, and the future. Together we are unstoppable." The Valiant led the fleet as they moved to meet the enemy. The stars around them were alive with light and noise from thousands of ships. The battle was fierce and long. The alien armada tried to break the human line many times, but the Valiant's shields held strong and Carter's commands kept the fleet united. Sentinel directed precise attacks, finding weak points in the enemy's formation. Human and alien ships worked side by side, protecting each other. During the fight, Carter piloted the Valiant into the thick of battle. His hands moved fast, firing weapons and dodging attacks. The ship responded perfectly to his skill. At one point, a large enemy warship charged at the Valiant. Carter focused all power on the energy cannon. He fired just as the enemy ship fired its own weapon. The two beams collided in a bright explosion, shaking both ships. The enemy ship broke apart, its pieces floating away in silence. The victory boosted the fleet's morale. The alien armada began to retreat, but Sentinel warned, "This is not the end. They will return." After the battle, Carter met with his commanders and allies. They planned to strengthen defenses and prepare for future attacks. He also thought about the Valiant's place in this new world. Once forgotten, it was now the heart of humanity's hope. Carter stood on the ship's bridge, watching stars glow in the distance. He felt ready for whatever came next. "We will protect human space," he said softly. "And no ship will be left behind." The human fleet was stronger now. With new ships and alien allies, they prepared for the final battle. Carter spent long hours on the Valiant, planning strategies with Sentinel and his commanders. The war was not over, but hope was alive. 1. Morning. The fleet received word. The alien armada was gathering at the border of human space. This time, their numbers were larger and their ships more advanced. Carter knew this battle would decide the future. Everyone must be ready, he told his crew. "We fight not just to survive, but to protect everything we love." The Valiant led the fleet toward the enemy. The stars blurred as ships moved at faster than light speeds. Carter felt the familiar hum of the Valiant's engines and the strength of its shields, Sentinel reported. "Enemy fleet detected. They are spread out but moving fast." Carter took a deep breath and said, "Prepare for battle." The first shots came quickly. The alien armada fired powerful energy beams, trying to break the human line. Carter maneuvered the Valiant expertly, dodging attacks and returning fire. This battle was different. The enemy used new tactics, attacking in waves and targeting human command ships. The Valiant's shields weakened under heavy fire, and alarms blared. Carter stayed calm. He ordered the crew to activate emergency power to the shields and reroute energy to weapons. The Valiant's energy cannon charged again, ready to fire. Sentinel warned, "We must focus on the enemy command ship. It controls their fleet." Carter nodded. "Lock onto their command ship. Prepare to fire." The Valiant fired a powerful blast that hit the command ship's hull. Explosions spread, and enemy ships started to lose coordination. Carter pressed the attack, leading the fleet closer. But the alien armada was not defeated yet. A massive warship appeared, bigger than any Carter had seen. It fired a huge energy blast at the Valiant. The ship shook violently. Carter struggled to keep control. As systems failed one by one, the Valiant's engines faltered, and the shields flickered dangerously. "Damage report," Carter demanded. "Engines damaged, shields critical, weapons offline," Sentinel replied. "We must retreat, or risk destruction." Carter faced a hard choice. Retreat meant losing the battle, but staying meant certain death for the Valiant and crew. He looked at his team, their faces full of fear but trust. "We fight," Carter said firmly. "Hold the line, we can still win." The crew worked fast, repairing systems and firing what weapons they had left. The Valiant moved closer to the enemy warship, using its size to block attacks from smaller ships. Carter found an opening and fired the Valiant's last energy cannon blast. It struck the huge warship's core, causing a massive explosion. The enemy warship broke apart. The alien armada faltered and began to retreat in confusion. The Valiant was badly damaged but still flying. Carter gave orders to follow the retreating enemy and keep pressure on them. As the battle ended, the fleet cheered. The humans and their allies had won a great victory. Later, Carter walked through the Valiant's corridors, checking on his crew. Many were injured, but their spirits were high. He met with Sentinel in the ship's control room. "We survived," Carter said. "But the war is not over," Sentinel agreed. "We must rebuild and prepare for whatever comes next." Carter looked out at the stars, thinking about the journey. The Valiant was once a forgotten ship, now a symbol of hope and strength. He knew humanity's future was bright because they never gave up. "We will protect our home," Carter whispered. "And the Valiant will lead the way." The war was over, but the stars still held silence and questions. Carter stood on the bridge of the Valiant, watching the vast galaxy spread before him. The battle had been fierce, but humanity had survived. The alien armada was gone, at least. For now, around him, the fleet repaired ships and healed crews. New alliances were stronger than ever, and the Valiant had become a symbol of hope. But Carter knew this peace was fragile. One evening, Sentinel spoke softly. "Carter, we have a new message from the Galactic Council. They want to meet with us." Carter nodded. The Galactic Council was a group of powerful alien races that governed many worlds. Humanity had never been part of their meetings before. This was a new chance. The Valiant traveled to the Council's space station, a massive structure floating near a bright star. Carter and his team prepared for talks that could change everything. At the meeting, council members from different species greeted Carter and Sentinel. They spoke of the war, the Valiant's power, and humanity's courage. One council leader said, "Your ship and crew fought with honor. We see now that humanity is a force to respect." Carter felt proud, but humble. "We only want peace and a place in the galaxy." The council offered a new alliance, including technology sharing and protection. Humanity would no longer be alone. Back on the Valiant, Carter reflected on the journey. The ship was once forgotten, waiting for someone to believe in it. Now it led humanity into a new era. Sentinel said, "You awakened more than a ship, Carter. You awakened hope." Carter smiled. "And together, we will protect our future." As stars twinkled in the distance, Carter knew the Valiant was ready. Ready to face new challenges, explore new worlds, and keep humanity safe. The ship was no longer just metal and wires. It was a promise that no matter what came next, humanity would stand strong, united, and free.